No one at the start of the 2022 Cup Series season, including Kyle Busch, would have predicted the future NASCAR Hall of Famer would be driving in 2023 for anyone but Joe Gibbs Racing, where he's driven for the last 15 years and won a pair of championships. But here we are. Last week, Busch ended months of speculation when he joined the legendary owner and announced that he would be competing for Richard Childress Racing next season. That will undoubtedly go down as one of the biggest free agent moves in the sport's history. Since the announcement, Rowdy Nation has offered a mixed bag of responses. Many fans are happy for their driver to get a chance to prove himself with another team, not just any team, but the one where Dale Earnhardt made his name. Others have been less enthusiastic about the move to RCR, believing it was a step back for the driver who, for the last 15 years, had a car that could contend for wins on any given race weekend. However, this season, in the new next-gen car, that statement hasn't been true. The number 18 has not been in contention with any consistency. Take one 7-race stretch during the middle of the season when Busch had 3 consecutive top 5 finishes at Kansas, Charlotte, and Gateway. The 3 subsequent weekends, he finished 21st or worse. More recently, it's been even more dramatic. In the last 7 races, Busch has had a pair of top 10s mixed in with 5 finishes of 26th or worse, including 3 DNFs. 2 of those DNFs have been the result of engine failures, which came at the worst possible time in the first round of the playoffs. The disastrous finishes effectively eliminated Busch from the postseason in the first round for the first time in his career. And those catastrophic failures occurring within a matter of weeks of each other and around the same time it became clear Busch was leaving JGR caught the attention of some Rowdy fans, who suggested there might be something more sinister going on within the organization. While most Busch fans could easily dismiss such a disturbing thought, the organization made another notable move this week that is a little harder to overlook and unsurprisingly raised more than a few eyebrows. On Monday, it was reported that JGR is swapping Busch's pit crew with Denny Hamlin's pit crew for the remainder of the season. The number 11 pit crew has struggled for much of the season, and Hamlin has talked about it over and over again.
Faster last stop. We dropped the jack on the left side. We didn't have the tire off of it yet, so our last stop was 45 seconds too long, and we lost by 3.8 seconds. So I think we had the right strategy. That was Chris and really the engineers. They nailed it again on the strategy. We just didn't execute on the last pit stop.
There have been countless mistakes, including over the wall too soon, equipment interference, and the most notable, loose wheels. Crew chief Chris Gabehart served a 4-race suspension earlier this year because of a runaway wheel. It happened again on Saturday at Bristol. With Busch eliminated and Hamlin advancing to the round of 12, the move makes sense as the organization wants to give those cars still in contention the best shot at winning. Giving Hamlin Busch's pit crew, which has been one of the best all season, does just that. And the move isn't unprecedented. In fact, earlier this season, JGR made another swap of select pit crew members between the number 20 of Christopher Bell and the number 23 of Bubba Wallace. Many question the move. Both drivers have since made trips to victory lane. This swap could very well benefit Hamlin the same way and propel him deep into the playoffs, and who knows, potentially allow him to win his first championship. But it's hard not to understand how fans of Busch and the driver himself might feel about such a change. The move by JGR is effectively saying the success of the number 11 is more important than the number 18, which, logically, it is because Hamlin is still in the playoffs. But it's also easy to see how some of Rowdy Nation might get bent out of shape and interpret the switch as JGR officials saying Kyle is moving on to another team, so we're moving on from him before the end of the year. It's that type of thinking that makes a couple of blown engines in the last 3 races seem a little more suspicious. And that doesn't even include what happened in Saturday's Bristol race when Bubba Wallace returned to the track from steering issues after Busch's engine had failed and the number 18 was perilously close to the playoff cutoff line. Steve Letarte and Dale Earnhardt Jr. noted on the broadcast how they were surprised Wallace was not instructed to stay off the track and give the number 18 a better chance at advancing.
Interesting to know, Bubba Wallace is on the racetrack 90 laps down. He too could pass Kyle Busch as well.
You know, that's a good point. I'd be running down there, be like, hey man, you sure you want to keep running? You're into the next round. You just come on. I'll buy you lunch.
There are 7 races remaining in the season. You can bet fans of Busch will have a close eye on pit road to see if the new pit crew struggles. Even the smallest of mistakes will be noticed. Each miscue when it happens, and you know it will because it has all season with the number 11 team, will be just another reason to question JGR and its treatment of Busch. And it will serve as a painful reminder of what was once unthinkable at the beginning of the season.